so mad. I hate Mike now. How can anyone live in that house anymore?
Hey, Sarah, did you have another fight with Mike?
Can't you be more sympathetic? I need my sister right now. Why is it that every time I message you about Mike, you sound so cold? You're supposed to comfort me first.
Don't get me wrong, I'm not being cold. I'm trying to understand what happened to you.
It's not like I want to fight with him. It's always Mike's fault for making me angry. He never understands how I feel.
I suppose you probably made unreasonable demands and angered him again. You're always fighting with Mike like this.
What? You're supposed to be on my side. Why are you taking his side? I can't believe this. You're my own sister. And stop saying I'm unreasonable. When have I ever been unreasonable? Name one time. Because it's not true. I'm really not wrong this time. I just said I wanted to have a wedding before turning 30. Then Mike was horrible about it, saying he can't deal with such sudden demands. Do you know what else he said? He said I'm pressuring him. Me? Pressuring him? As if we haven't been dating for 3 years? 3 whole years. Do you know how many of my friends got married in that time? 7! Shouldn't he know what I want by now? Isn't it obvious? What kind of boyfriend doesn't think about marriage after 3 years?
Oh, so you two fought about marriage?
Of course we fought about marriage. Yes, and he acted like I'm being crazy by saying that. Can you believe that? Like wanting to get married is some outrageous thing, as if I'm asking him for something impossible. He even had the nerve to say, "Where is this coming from?" Where is this coming from? Is he blind? Doesn't he realize this situation? As if he doesn't see all my friends getting married. As if he doesn't notice my Instagram feed full of weddings.
Well, did you ever discuss with him about marriage before?
That's not the point. Why does everything need to be discussed? Why can't he just understand my feelings? Why do I have to spell everything out for him? Shouldn't he just know? If he really loved me, he'd understand. Isn't that what love is supposed to be? Understanding each other without words? We're both turning 30 next year. Talking about marriage is totally normal. Getting angry about it is completely unreasonable. That's why I'm running away this time. I can't stay here with him. I'm going back home right now.
What? You're going to come here?
Yes, because I can't stay in that apartment anymore. I've already packed my essentials. I'm leaving now. Do you know what else he said? He said I should think about our financial situation. Can you believe that? Like money is more important than love, as if love needs a budget. He keeps talking about being realistic. What's realistic about crushing someone's dreams? Every time I look at him, I get angrier. He's just making excuses because he doesn't want to commit. That's what this is really about. He's probably never wanted to marry me. I don't want to see his face right now. I won't go back until he apologizes, so just prepare my room for me now. Make sure it's clean, and I need fresh sheets.
Unfortunately, I can't prepare anything for you. You know you don't have a room for you anymore. We demolished your room during this year's renovation. This house is now for our parents and us, the married couple.
How can you say that? It's still my home too. What right do you have to keep me away? Just because you're married doesn't mean you own the place. I grew up in that house too. Even if it's renovated, even if you're living here, home is home. Mom and Dad said I could stay here as long as I want. They promised me. They said I'd always have a place here to stay.
Are you serious? They already gave you permission to stay here without even asking me or James?
Of course they did. They understand me, unlike you. They said their daughter always has a place here. Always. Unlike some people, they actually care about my feelings. So please, prepare for my return. Make sure to tell James about this too.
Sarah, you need to think this through.
There's nothing to think about. I'm coming home. Why does everyone keep saying that? I've already packed my essentials. And don't you dare try to stop me. I mean it, Emma. I'll be there in an hour. Make sure James knows about this.
This isn't going to solve anything.
Just get my room ready. That's all I'm asking.
Emma, is it true Sarah's moving back home? Your mom just called me about it.
Yes, it's true. It seems that she had a fight with Mike and just ran away. I refused, of course, but our parents apparently gave permission without asking us. I can't believe that they didn't even consult us after everything we've done for them and for this house.
This is so sudden. Did they even think about where she would sleep?
Apparently not. They just decided on their own without thinking thoroughly, like they always do. They didn't even ask how we felt about it, or consider the renovations we just did.
I see. They suddenly told me to give up my room for her. They didn't explain anything, so I was pretty shocked about it.
What? They told you directly? Without even discussing it with me first? When did they call you? How dare they say such a thing?
Yeah, your mom actually called me while I was at work, right in the middle of an important meeting. She just assumed I'd agree with everything they said, like I have no say in my own home.
Are you kidding? They're planning to give your room to her? After everything we've done for them? What did Mom actually say? Tell me everything.
Well, sadly, I suppose that's just how it is being a live-in son-in-law. It is your family's house, after all. She just said, Sarah needs her space to think, as if I don't need space too, and that family should help family, like I'm not family.
What are you talking about? That's completely wrong. This is our house too. We're the ones who are actually paying the renovation loan. There's no way I'm letting them take your room away. You're not just some outsider. You're my husband, not some tenant. We've put everything into this place. Our savings, our time, everything.
Thanks, Emma, for saying that. That means a lot to me. Sometimes I wonder if your family will ever see me as more than just the son-in-law. I was worried you might side with your family.
I can't believe they'd treat you like this. After everything we've done for the house. The loans we took out, all the planning we did. Did they forget who's paying for everything? How dare they try to push you out?
It's okay. I understand they want to help out Sarah. She is your sister, after all. And she seems pretty upset this time. Maybe we should also try to help her out somehow.
No, it's not okay. They can't just push you around. I absolutely won't let them. Sister or not, this is our home too. We've put so much into this place. They can't just decide things without us. Sarah can sleep in the living room when she comes. She'll make up with Mike and leave in a few days anyway. The couch is good enough for someone being so selfish.
I hope you're right, but I'm not so sure about that. I have a feeling she might be here to stay longer.
Really? What makes you say that? Did something happen? You know something about this, don't you?
Actually, I had drinks with Mike yesterday.
Oh, really? With Mike? You never mentioned that before. Were you two that close? Since when?
Well, you know, we share that fishing hobby. Our offices are pretty close too, so we often head home together. When we run into each other, we usually grab a drink or two. It started a few months ago, after that fishing trip we all took together. Remember when he caught that huge bass?
Oh, since then? I had no idea.
Sorry, I guess I should have told you about this sooner. We've actually been meeting quite often. He needed someone to talk to.
What did Mike say about Sarah? How is their relationship going? It must be serious if you're worried that much.
I've been hearing his complaints every time they fight, but yesterday felt different, more serious. It was the first time I heard him say he wants to break up.
What? Break up? Really? Are you sure? That doesn't sound like Mike. Whatever Sarah says, he's always been so patient with her.
I know, but he seems to really be worn down these days. He said he couldn't take the constant fighting anymore.
Really? Is it that serious?
He looked pretty determined to break up with Sarah this time. If they don't make up, Sarah will probably end up living here permanently.
So I guess he is serious. I assume the apartment they're sharing is rented under Mike's name, right? So if they break up, Sarah would have to leave that apartment. Living here with us isn't out of the question.
Yeah, that's pretty much the only option. So it would be your parents, us, and Sarah. 5 people living together in this house.
That sounds really tough. Even I find it cramped, and it must be even harder for you.
Yeah, it will be really difficult. We'd like to avoid that situation, right? So, I have a suggestion. If you're okay with it, what if we use this as an opportunity to move out of here?
What? Move out? Right after we renovated the house?
I know the timing isn't great, and I know how much work we put into the renovation.
We just finished paying for all those upgrades.
I know it feels wasteful, but honestly, living together has become tough these days. Ever since the renovation, something feels off. Your parents' attitude toward me has obviously gotten really cold.
What do you mean?
They used to be more grateful, but now there's none of that left. It's like they expect me, as the son-in-law, to be overly polite and considerate. I feel like they're treating me like a servant.
Oh, you actually noticed that too? James, honestly, I've actually been feeling the same way as well.
Really? You too?
I thought I was just being oversensitive about this, but I guess you've noticed it too.
I didn't want to say anything at first. Thought maybe I was just imagining things.
When we first started living together, everyone was considerate and it felt more comfortable, but now it's like they're too used to us, like they're taking us for granted.
Exactly. The atmosphere changed after the renovation, like they think we owe them something.
Even though the house is still in their names because they insisted, we're the ones paying for the renovation loan and living expenses, yet they act superior just because they're the owners.
Yeah, that's what bothers me most. They begged us to live here and accepted me as a son-in-law. I'm not asking to be treated like royalty, but this treatment is a bit too much.
They've completely forgotten how they practically begged us to stay. Remember how worried they were about living alone?
And now they act like they're doing us a favor.
Okay, I've decided now. This might be a good opportunity. Let's consider moving out as an option.
Really? You're sure about this?
Yes, we can't keep living like this anymore. That's assuming Sarah ends up living here, of course. But that seems likely, so we might as well start looking at properties.
Thank you, Emma. I know this isn't an easy decision for you, but I appreciate your consideration.
No, you're right. It's time for a change.
Sis, I'm going to make up with Mike, so could you move out of the house while I'm gone?
Excuse me? Move out?
You heard me. Don't act surprised. I need the house to myself. It's important for my future. This is my chance to fix everything.
What are you talking about?
Actually, I'm going on a makeup date with Mike, and I'm planning to invite him to live here with me. I've got it all worked out. It's the perfect solution. He can't say no to this. I've thought it all through. We'll save so much money. And Mom and Dad already love him.
What do you mean? How does a makeup date lead to living together in our family home?
Well, I talked with Mike a bit, and it turns out he has no savings for a wedding. That's why he got defensive and snapped at me before. So I had this brilliant idea. If we don't have wedding money, we could just live here and save up money. Think about it. We could save so much. Do you know how much rent costs these days? Mike's apartment is pretty expensive, around $2,000 a month. But if we live here, that money can go straight to our savings. That's why I want you and James to move out immediately. You're in the way. You're just taking up space. You don't need to be here. You have jobs. You can afford your own place. The master bedroom should be ours. It makes more sense. We're the ones planning a future. We need the space more than you do.
In the way? This is our house too. That's why we renovated it this year.
Oh, please. You're just living here temporarily. Everyone knows that. Mom and Dad already agreed to my plan. They love the idea. They're excited about it, actually. They can't wait to have Mike here. They think Mike would make a better son-in-law. He's more successful, more ambitious. Sorry, sis, but trashy couples like you don't have the right to complain.
What? Did you just call us trashy?
Let's be honest here. You know Mike and I work at prestigious companies, right? He's the most successful in his year with a 6-figure salary. We're different from you boring, low-paid civil servant couples. He's already being considered for promotion, while you two are stuck in your dead-end jobs. Can you even get promotions in civil service? Or do you just get tiny raises every year?
Don't look down on civil servants. A stable job has its own merits.
Stability is for boring people, for people with no ambition. Money is more important than stability, obviously. You can't buy a nice house with stability. That's why Mom and Dad are supporting us. They said they'll do anything to help their daughter marry well. They want something better for me. They're tired of having such mediocre children. Do you know what Dad said? They want grandchildren who will have opportunities. Unlike some people who settled for less. At least I aimed higher than a civil servant. I have standards. They'd rather live with their younger daughter and her successful boyfriend than with you two. At least we have potential. At least we can give them a better future.
What did you say?
You heard me. They're tired of you two. Everyone can see it. They want someone successful in the family. It's embarrassing, really. So get out, you worthless couple. You can't even have kids. Haven't you noticed how Mom and Dad treat you like burdens? You're an unproductive couple. Literally trash. Unlike us young people with a future. At least I can give them grandchildren. What can you give them? Nothing but disappointment.
You've really got some nerve saying whatever you want. Who do you and our parents think you are?
We're the ones with actual potential. We're young and successful. We have our whole lives ahead of us. We deserve this house more than you. You're just wasting space here, you and your useless husband. Just pack your bags already. I'm going to live here with my boyfriend, so get out now. There's no place here for bottom feeders like you. I mean it, Emma. I want you gone by next week.
Fine, have it your way. Good luck.
Finally, you're being reasonable. Don't ever come back. From today on, this house belongs to our parents and us promising young couple.
Sure. Then you and your promising couple can handle the loan payments for us instead. We useless sister and husband will move to a nice apartment of our own.
Huh? What loan payments? What are you talking about? There aren't any loans. This house is paid for.
You know we renovated the house this year, right? Well, we're the ones actually paying for it with a loan.
What? Really? I thought it was paid in full up front. Nobody told me about any loan.
Initially, it was just going to be a $40,000 bathroom renovation, but then Mom and Dad kept adding things, saying, while we're at it, it ended up costing over $100,000. We had to take out a loan and we're paying for our parents.
What? $100,000? That much? You're lying. That's impossible. For a renovation? And you're saying we have to pay for that? That's ridiculous. It's the family home. Shouldn't Mom and Dad pay for things like that? They're the homeowners. Why should we have to pay the loan? This isn't fair.
Actually, my husband and I have been paying for everything, so now it's your and Mike's turn to pay for that.
That's not fair. You can't just dump this on us. That's ridiculous. We're moving in to save money. I thought living at home meant zero expenses. There's no point in living here otherwise. This ruins everything. All my future plans.
Don't worry, it's actually not that bad. Even with the extensive renovation, the monthly payment is only around $400. That should be easy for you two, considering you're currently paying $2,000 in rent.
Oh, really? Is that all? The loan payment is just $400? You scared me for a minute. That's nothing compared to the rent now. You had me worried. That's totally manageable. We can still save way more than we do now. This is still perfect. Mike will be so happy about this.
Then feel free to live here with Mike. Have fun on your makeup date. We'll move out while you're gone.
Perfect! Everything's working out, just like I planned. I'll text you our move-in date after I talk to Mike. Make sure you're gone by then. We might need the master bedroom after all, since we'll be paying the loan. It's only fair. This can't be happening. Instead of making up, Mike just broke up with me. Why? How? Help me, sis. Please answer. I'm begging you. I don't understand.
Really? He broke up with you?
Everything was supposed to be perfect. I thought it was a makeup date. I was so excited going to the cafe. But as soon as I got there, he dumped me. He just said he couldn't marry me. What am I going to do? I'm turning 30 next year. When I arrived at the cafe, he was already sitting there, waiting, with this horrible, serious look on his face. Just sat there and said it's over, that he can't see a future with me after 3 years. How could he do this to me? What about our future?
For someone with such a promising future, yours just took quite a turn, but you deserve to be dumped.
Huh? How can you say that? What kind of sister are you? I'm your only sister. This is all your fault. If you hadn't mentioned the loan, you ruined everything.
It's not my fault. Maybe you should reflect on your own behavior.
What? What's with that attitude? What do you mean I deserve to be dumped? I just wanted a wedding. What's wrong with wanting to marry your boyfriend? Everyone wants that. It's completely normal.
But didn't you tell him you didn't need a wedding?
Huh? What are you talking about?
Remember, you said that you didn't need a ceremony. Just signing the papers would be fine. That's what you told Mike before, right? So of course he'd be confused when you suddenly demanded a wedding.
How do you know about my conversations with Mike? Did you tell him about our texts?
I actually heard it from Mike.
What? You've been talking to Mike behind my back? When? Since when are you two so close? Why would he talk to you? How dare you?
You told him you'd rather spend money on the apartment than on a wedding. Instead of spending on one day, I'd rather invest in our long-term life together. Isn't that what you told Mike? That's why he worked hard to rent that nice apartment for you. But then you suddenly demand a wedding ceremony. Of course he'd be so troubled.
That was different. That was before all my friends got married. What's wrong with that? A wedding is every girl's dream. Of course, living in a nice apartment would make me want a nice wedding too. Everyone wants nice things. You don't understand at all. Situations change.
And that's how you'd snap at Mike every day. When he'd point out how you changed your story, you'd get angry. He said he was getting mentally exhausted.
He said that? I wasn't snapping. I was just expressing my wishes. And why is Mike complaining about me to you anyway? He should talk about those matters directly to me, not everyone else.
Oh, he didn't directly talk to me. It was James. I'm just hearing it secondhand.
What? James and Mike talk about me? Since when are they so close? Why didn't you tell me about this? How long has this been going on? What kind of boyfriend talks to his girlfriend's brother-in-law?
You know they share hobbies and get along well. When they drink together, Mike would often vent. That's how I heard through James that you also told Mike you didn't want an engagement ring, but this year you started demanding one worth tens of thousands of dollars.
What? You heard about that too? Those conversations were between me and Mike. Mike had no right to tell James those things. He's making me sound terrible.
I also heard you started demanding to be a housewife. James said Mike told him. She said we'd both work to support our household, but now everything's different. He told James he was really confused by all the sudden changes.
That's not fair. Of course I changed my mind about working. Things are different now. When I saw how much his colleagues' wives have, do you know what kind of life they live? They get to stay home. They get to shop. So what? People's thoughts and dreams can change. Before, I was fine without a ring and wanted to work, but now it's different. I want a ring. I want to be a housewife. Shouldn't a man make his girlfriend's dreams come true? What's wrong with wanting better things? What's wrong with having dreams? All my friends get to stay home. Their husbands support them. Why shouldn't I have that too? I deserve it just as much.
Mike did fulfill your dreams. You said you didn't need anything except a nice apartment. He got you a $2,000 per month place to make your dream come true. He even bought all new furniture and appliances for it, spending tens of thousands of dollars of his own money.
So what? I never asked him to pay for everything. He chose to do that himself. Nobody forced him. He wanted to make me happy. That's what boyfriends do. That's what love is.
Yes, as a man, Mike worked hard to pay for it all. But Sarah, what have you done for your future with Mike?
Huh? Me? What do you mean, what have I done? I've done plenty. How dare you? I've been the perfect girlfriend. I cook for him sometimes, at least once a week, his favorite meals. I plan all our dates, every single weekend. I make all the reservations.
Making one-sided demands is just playing at being in love, but going through marriage is different. You need to work together to make your dreams come true. No wonder Mike doesn't want to marry someone who expects him to handle everything.
You don't know anything. What do you know about love? You're just jealous. You've always been jealous of me. Because Mike makes more than James. Way more. Because I'm prettier than you. I always have been. Even Mom says so. Shut up. I didn't ask for your preachy lecture. Stop acting superior just because you're married. You just got lucky. James was desperate.
Sarah.
You think you're so smart. You and your perfect marriage, your boring, stable life. It's not my fault. Mike just wasn't man enough. He just didn't have enough money. If that's the case, I'll just find someone better than Mike. Someone richer, someone more ambitious, someone who understands a woman's worth.
Your mind is completely rotten, as if you could find anyone better than Mike with that attitude.
Watch me. I totally can. I'm younger and prettier than you. I'll easily find a man who will pay the house loan and support me too. I have options. Men are always asking me out. I get hit on all the time. I was too loyal to Mike, too faithful. I turned down so many guys. Just wait and see. I'll show all of you. Help me, sis. I'm about to be forced to marry an old man. Emma, please answer quickly. This is an emergency. Mom and Dad have lost their minds. When I told Dad about breaking up with Mike, he completely lost it. He was furious about you two moving out and asked who's going to pay the loan. He's scarier than I've ever seen him. He won't listen to reason. He keeps talking about responsibility.
Weren't you going to easily find someone better than Mike? Just tell them to wait for that.
Of course I said that, but Dad exploded, saying we can't wait that long, and went ahead and arranged a matchmaking meeting, and the guy is some balding man in his 40s. 40s! Can you believe that? He's older than James. Way older. And he keeps talking about his business, about responsibility, about mature relationships.
Well, I hear bald men tend to be gentle-natured. That's good for you. You'll be a perfect husband.
This isn't funny. How can you joke at a time like this? This is serious. This is my future we're talking about. He smells like cigarettes and coffee, and he's so old. I just can't stand this. I'm still in my 20s. I can't marry some balding guy no matter how much he makes. Please, sis, you've got to help me. The meeting with him was just horrible. He kept talking about his business, about wanting a family. But Dad says he's perfect. You have to help me. I know I said some awful things, terrible things, but I'll take it all back. Every word of it. You can't let them do this to me. I'm your sister, your baby sister. You have to protect me. If you and James move back, everything can go back to normal. Mom and Dad are just worried about the loan payments. If you and James come back and pay everything like before, I won't have to go through this matchmaking. Please, I'm begging you. I'll never be mean to James again. I'll apologize to him. I'll be nicer, I promise.
I see. But sorry, Sarah. We've started living in our own lovely apartment. Actually, we're having a housewarming party today.
What? No! You can't abandon me like this! This isn't fair! Just cancel your party and come help me here! This is more important! Family is more important than some kind of party!
Actually, James and Mike caught a lot of fish again, and we hired a sushi chef to come over. The three of us are having a sushi party.
What? Mike is there too? With you guys? Right now? After everything that happened? How could he act like nothing happened joining you two? He's supposed to be missing me. He's supposed to be devastated. And he's having sushi?
Even if he broke up with my sister, James and Mike are still best friends. Those two are actually closer than we thought. They go fishing every weekend now. It's become their thing.
Then I'll come over there right now. Tell me the address. I want to eat sushi too, and I really want to make up with Mike this time. Please, I need to see him now. I promise I'll be different. I won't ask for expensive things. I'll be reasonable. Please, Emma, I promise I'll change. I'll be different this time. I'll work after marriage. I'll help with expenses. Just tell me where you are. I need to talk to Mike. Please give me this chance.
I won't tell you our address, and I won't let you near my husband's best friend. You should focus on your matchmaking.
What? How can you be so cruel? After everything, I'm your only sister. After everything we've been through, all our childhood memories, don't you care about my happiness? About my future?
Well, time to enjoy our sushi. Goodbye.
Wait, don't go. At least tell Mike I'm sorry. Tell him I miss him. Tell him about the matchmaking. Maybe he'll realize his mistake.
Just send our regards to Mom and Dad.
Emma, please, don't ignore me. I need you. You're my only hope. Please answer. Emma!
My sister Sarah ended up meeting with the man our parents arranged and eventually married him. However, this man turned out to be an incredibly demanding tyrant. Though he initially appeared humble and pleasant, As soon as they registered their marriage and started living in the family home, his true nature emerged. While he offered to pay the loan and living expenses, he began treating Sarah and our parents like servants, ordering them around constantly. Our parents were completely shocked, frantically calling us saying things like, "We thought we were getting a kind son-in-law like James." And "This isn't what we expected at all. Please come back." But of course, we ignored all their messages. Whether the family home gets taken over or whatever else happens there, it doesn't matter to us anymore since we have no intention of ever going back.
Thank you for watching till the end. If you felt good about this video, like the video. If you didn't like it, let me know why in the comments. Subscribe too. Your likes and subs lead to our motivation. We have so many videos on our channel as well, so go ahead and take a look. See you in the next video.